Okay, for this tutorial we're going to look at adding a few different types of questions to your unit. These will be true, false, multiple choice and multiple response. We'll also look at how to edit these after you've added one to your unit. So first we go to the new slide icon, click it, and if you look down here on the left hand side you'll see templates, basic layouts, quizzing, screen recordings and import. Usually it's defaulted to basic layouts. You're just going to click on quizzing and you'll see various different types of quiz questions you can add to your unit. We're going to look at true, false first. It should be selected by default. If it's not, just click on it and click on insert. Now the first view we get is the form view, and this is basically us looking at the background or behind the slide. So this is us looking behind the question, and it's where we get to do most of the manual work for it. We'll put in a very simple question. We'll say freestyle must be completed on your front, and we have a true or false. Of course that answer is false. So in this question you write whatever question you wish or statement, and then you have to tell a storyline whether or not that statement is true or false is the correct answer. So you don't always have to make it a true statement, it can be a false one. Down here we get the feedback. This is the response your student will see after they click an answer. So if they click the correct answer, they'll be told that's right, you selected the correct response. If they click the incorrect one, you'll say you did not click the right response. We can change these. We can just have it at that's right if we want, and we can change the bottom one. We'll change it to incorrect. You don't have to be on your front. And then we get to decide how many points we'd be giving to this question if we were counting the points total. Just remember or be aware of this if you start changing it. Keep in mind how many points you're planning to add up to. So I mean, if you make one point and the other is all 10 points, then you're giving it less value. But it's up to yourself how you're going to figure it out. We're going to make this 1, so they'll get 1 point. And part of the reason for doing this is it's easier if you're trying to do later on, you got one question out of 8 correct. If you're counting in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll be easier for you to set it up so that it'll say you've gotten 5 correct, you've gotten 4 correct. And then we move on to slide view. So this is how we're dealing with the backgrounds. You'll see there's a small bit of a preview as to how our slide will look. Click on slide view and we'll see how it actually looks. When you're on here in the slide view, you can do various things to change it. You can click here. This is your button part. You can make that smaller or larger as you would with other elements on the screen. You can move it up or down, place it on different parts of the screen. Similarly with your title, you can move that around if you wish. You can also change it here if you want to. You can change it to be swum on your front. Just be aware that if you change this here, you might also need to change the text that will tell you correct or incorrect. You can change the type of text as you would normally, so you can change it to maybe a bigger size, or you can make it bolded, up to yourself. If you click down here, these are your layers. This is all automatically programmed in, so you don't need to worry about the triggers. Your correct answer will give you correct, that's right, which is what we'd change it to, and incorrect, you don't have to be on your front. And similarly with this, you can highlight the text, you can change the text here, you can change the style of the text here, and so on. So let's say that you have created your question and you want to go back in and edit it, same thing. And as I said, you can change it in here. I think we can even change the text here if you wish, but we're not going to. So you can change the text on the form or on the slide itself, or you can click on form view, and within here you can change the text if you wish, just as before. You can change it to whatever you want, but I'd recommend not to at the moment because it's simply true or false. You don't have to mess around with it too much. Okay, so that's true and false. The next one we're going to add in is going to be a multiple choice question. And insert. Similar to our true false one, you'll first be presented with the behind the scenes, so to speak, view of your question. For this one we'll say which stroke does not require you to touch with 2 hands. And then we give various amount of choices. You can put up to 10 choices. And as was before, you get to choose which one is correct. You don't have to shuffle these yourself. So I mean, you don't have to decide, well, in the last one I clicked B B as being the correct one. This one I must make it A, or the next one I must make it D. If you look up here in the top in our question options, we have shuffle the answers. You can give the feedback by question, by choice. So you can shuffle them or have them set at the same one the whole time. Leave that shuffle, that way you won't have to think about it. You can always just make whichever one you want to be the correct one. So anyway, we'll give our correct answers front crawl, freestyle, and that's the correct one. And then we'll do butterfly and breaststroke. Alright, now we changed the last one to be 1 point. So depending on whether or not we want this one to be worth more, sometimes you might, if you're going to plan and give them a percentage at the end. Congratulations, you've had 55% correct, or 20%, or you've gotten 40 points out of a potential 200, something like this. But we're going to change ours to 1 because we changed the previous one. And we changed our previous one to that's right, so we'll make this one the same. And for our incorrect, we're going to say incorrect, and we're going to give them the correct answer. So this way, if they hit the wrong answer, they'll be told incorrect, the correct answer was whatever. So we go to our slide view, and as you can see, we still have this same as the other one. We can move that element around, bring it up and down. Now we're able to edit this to a certain degree on the slide view as well. So if you decided after looking at this and you change some of the text around and you decide, oh, that isn't the correct answer, you can simply click on it here, and this will make the new one a correct answer. Okay, so if we realize, okay, that wasn't the correct answer, you can click it here. You can redo your entire question if you wish from here, because you can change the question text, you can change the answers. If you wish to, you can add an extra choice. So you just click on this little button here, and if there was another stroke we could put in, or you had another answer, potential answer, you can put it in there. Now it's a bit difficult to get rid of these after you've put one in. That's why it's not recommended to add answers here on this slide. If you hit Control and Z, it'll undo actions that you've made, and that's about the best way to get rid of an unwanted question on this slide. You can see your incorrect and correct are the exact same. The other slide and this slide, or any of these question slides, you can change how the text looks by clicking. It's a bit tricky. Click it so that the entire box is highlighted and not just one question. Go to Home, and you can change your text size here, same as you would in any Microsoft product like Office or Word. And like that, if you were away from the slide and you came back, okay, so you can look at the form view, and as before, you can edit whatever you want to in here. Change the text for the question, change the answer text, look at the various other options. The final question slide we're going to add, or quiz slide we're going to add, is new slide, multiple response, and insert. This particular question allows the student to select multiple different answers. So if there was, for example, more than one correct answer, you give them the opportunity to click more than one, or perhaps there is only one correct answer, but there could potentially have been other ones, and you want to see, can they identify the correct one. So we'll give the question, we'll say, which strokes employ a flutter kick? And we're going to say, now an advantage of this one is you can also say, or give options such as none of the above or all of the above. Now if you're going to add one of these two, none of the above or all of the above, you'll have to turn off shuffle. Shuffle applies here just as it does with the multiple choice one, and if you have it turned on, then your none of the above answer could end up being at the very top of the list or halfway down, and your students would wonder, is that applying to half the list or all of the list, depending on where it is. So if you're going to add in one of these two questions, none of the above or all of the above, please keep that in mind, that you need to turn off shuffle. We're going to take these two out, and you see once you delete the text on any of these, the answer disappears. And then we can select the ones that are correct, so backstroke and front crawl are the two correct answers. And again down here we have our that's right and our incorrect. And we change our points to make it the same as the others. Now this is up to you. If you wanted to, you could give this weighted more with points and so on. We go to the slide view, and again similar to our last one. Now remember, this is going to be shuffled once we turn our shuffling back on in the design part. And just as before, you can change the element size if you wish. You can drag it around the screen. You can add an extra choice if you wish. You can change the question. You can move it around the screen. You can make it bigger and bolder. You can change color if you wish. And as with the other ones, if you're revisiting it, you go away and you come back, you're still able to have access to all of these things. You can change any element you wish. I think that's it for basic question tutorial.